Let me tell you something most men don't want to hear. You're not broken, you're just tired. Tired of being the one who always tries, the one who shows up, communicates, forgives, while she disappears, plays games, and leaves you wondering what you did wrong. But here's the truth no one told you. You're not stuck because she left. You're stuck because you lost yourself while trying to keep her. You compromised your standards, lowered your voice, and tried to carry the weight of a relationship she wasn't even holding up herself. But today, we're flipping the script. You're going to learn how to detach, not from her, but from the emotional chaos she created. Not with hate, not with bitterness, but with clarity, power, and masculine grace. Here are new principles to help you let go of the wrong woman and rise into the right version of you. Let's get into it. Point 1. If she drains you, she doesn't deserve you. Real love doesn't drain, it refuels. If every conversation leaves you confused, exhausted, or second-guessing yourself, that's not love. That's emotional inflation. You're pouring energy into something that gives nothing back. And I know, there's always that moment where she's sweet, kind, loving, and you convince yourself that side of her is the real her. But ask yourself, if the real her only shows up 10% of the time, why are you accepting the other 90%? Relationships aren't supposed to feel like walking on eggshells. They're supposed to feel like home. So if being with her means losing your peace, questioning your worth, or constantly chasing reassurance, you're not in a relationship. You're in a silent war, and it's time to lay down your weapons and walk away with your dignity. Point 2. She's not confused. She's comfortable. She knows exactly what she's doing. The mixed signals, the delayed text, the passive-aggressive silence, it's all calculated. Not necessarily out of cruelty, but out of comfort. She knows you'll still be there, still waiting, still hoping, still forgiving. But let me remind you, you were not put here to be someone's emotional safety net while they explore other options. Confusion is the lie women tell when they don't want to commit, but also don't want to lose you. Don't fall for it. She's not confused. She's just confident that you won't walk away. So surprise her, not with anger, not with begging, with silence, certainty, and a goodbye that doesn't need explanation. Point 3. Stop explaining yourself to someone committed to misunderstanding you. How many times have you tried to get her to see your side? How often have you over-explained, texted long paragraphs, or tried to fix something that she keeps breaking? Let me save you time. If someone wanted to understand you, they would. But when a woman's made up her mind to play the victim, she'll twist every truth into a threat. And here's the worst part. The more you explain, the more power she feels. Because while you're trying to solve the problem, she's watching how far she can stretch the drama without losing you. Your need to be understood becomes her tool to control. So stop explaining, start observing, and recognize this truth. A man who knows himself doesn't need to justify himself. Point 4. You can't heal while sleeping next to the pain. Ever try to heal in the same place you got hurt? It's impossible. You keep telling yourself, it'll get better. She'll change. We just need time. But all that does is delay the inevitable. That she's not your piece, she's your pattern. You keep going back to the same fire hoping not to get burned. And every time it costs a little more of you. You can't rewrite a story if the villain still has the pen. You can't rebuild yourself while still lying next to the person who broke you. Healing begins when you finally accept that walking away isn't weakness, it's wisdom, and your peace should never feel like a punishment. Point 5. Your value isn't up for debate. Stop trying to prove it. Every time you try to prove your worth to her, you forget it for yourself. You chase, you overcompensate. You try to be better just to earn what should have been given freely. Love, effort, and respect. But listen carefully. A man's value is not proven through begging, fixing, or pleasing. It's revealed through boundaries, silence, and presence. You don't have to prove you're enough. You just have to walk like you already know you are. Because the moment you stop needing her validation is the moment she starts questioning why she ever took you for granted. Don't prove yourself. Remove yourself. And watch what happens next. Point 6. Your silence forces her to confront her own reflection. When you stop explaining yourself, she's left alone with the echo of your absence. No more text to analyze, no more calls to ignore, just silence. And in that silence, she finally hears herself. See, most people use relationships to avoid themselves. They distract, deflect, argue, anything but look inward. But when a man she once felt tethered to goes cold, it's like a mirror she can't escape. She starts to question her decisions. She replays her words. She wonders, did I go too far? And that's the moment the game flips, because you're no longer the man trying to prove your worth. You become the man she has to prove herself to. Not through begging, not through words, but by finally doing the inner work she kept avoiding. Point 7. She starts to romanticize the man you were silent with funny, how absence turns reality into memory, and memory into mythology. When you were always available, she picked apart your flaws. But now that you're gone, she edits those flaws out. She remembers your strength, not your softness, your mystery, not your vulnerability, the protector, not the pleaser. And suddenly, the man she once took for granted becomes the man she tells her friends she should have fought for. Because your silence didn't just remove you physically, it made her imagination do all the heavy lifting. Now every other man she meets has to measure up to the version of you her heart created in your absence. And no one ever wins against a ghost she regrets losing. Point 8. You teach her how to love you in your absence. Here's what most men never realize. It's not your love that teaches her how to treat you. It's your boundaries. When she pulls away and you don't chase, when she disrespects and you don't explain, you're not being cold. You're showing her what self-respect looks like. Your silence teaches her a lesson no words ever could, that you are not afraid to lose her, because you're not afraid to be with yourself. And the man who can be alone without flinching is the man she cannot manipulate. She learns quickly, you are not her backup plan. You are not a placeholder. You are the standard. So when she returns, it won't be with games. It will be with a question in her heart. Have I grown enough to stand beside a man like him? Because now, she knows love isn't about being chosen. It's about being ready. Look, I know letting go feels like failure, but it's not. It's freedom. Because every time you choose your peace over her drama, you win. Every time you walk away from what drains you, you evolve. And every time you stop chasing the woman who couldn't see your worth, you give space for the one who will. This isn't about revenge. It's about return. A return to your power, your standards, and your self-respect. So if you're ready to stop being emotionally drained and start standing like the man you were always meant to be, let this be the moment. Not where she changes, but where you do. If this hit home, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment if you've ever been through this. And remember, the strongest move you'll ever make is walking away without needing her to follow.